The wasteland was vast, red, and cracked like scorched glass. Captain Elias Rourke shielded his eyes against the relentless glare of Orias 9's twin suns. His dropship had crash-landed hours ago, a failed atmospheric entry ruining his solo scouting mission. With no backup, no comms, and minimal rations, his only objective now was survival. Elias scanned the horizon. A flicker of movement caught his attention, a shimmer, like heat distortion, but deliberate. He squinted and raised his plasma rifle, caution overriding curiosity. But what he saw next disarmed him completely. Collapsed against a jagged obsidian rock was a woman, at least, humanoid in form. Her skin shimmered faintly with a blue hue, her hair like flowing mercury. Her suit was torn, revealing glowing wounds seeping golden ichor. Elias dropped to one knee beside her, quickly checking for life signs. Her chest rose and fell shallowly. Eyes fluttered open, silver and luminous, filled with pain and fear. Hey, easy, he whispered, switching to the universal translator embedded in his suit. I'm not here to hurt you. Her lips trembled. I need help. Blood, human blood. Compatible. He blinked. What? Your species. Close enough. My kind uses blood for regeneration. She coughed violently, golden fluid staining her chin. Her words were desperate. Please. I will die soon. Elias hesitated, heart pounding. This went against every protocol. But something in her eyes, raw, pleading, and ancient, told him this wasn't a trap. He bit down, pulled out a sterile injector from his medkit, and drew a small vial of his own blood. It wasn't much, but he was already pushing the edge of his limits. Here goes nothing, he said, pressing the vial against a small port near her neck that pulsed faintly with alien tech. The moment the blood entered her system, her body seized, and for a terrifying second, Elias thought he'd killed her. But then, her wounds began to seal, muscle and skin knitting together in shimmering strands of light. Moments later, she sat up, breathing deeply, her eyes no longer filled with pain but power. You saved me, she whispered, staring at him in wonder. I guess I did, Elias muttered, sitting back with a wince. You're welcome. Her name was Silari, a member of the Ellerin, an ancient, secretive species who had long withdrawn from galactic affairs. Their biology was unique, almost symbiotic with plasma-rich life forms. Elias had read myths about them in fringe digests, but never imagined they were real. As the sun dipped below the rocky ridges of the wasteland, the two of them found temporary shelter in a shallow cave. Silari spoke in hushed tones about her people, their exile, and her mission to retrieve a stolen relic hidden deep beneath Orias 9's surface, a relic critical to her people's survival. I was ambushed by mercenaries guarding the tomb. They used weapons meant to nullify my regeneration, she explained. If you hadn't come. Well, good thing I crash where I'm needed, Elias smirked. But he was weakening. Fast. She noticed his pallor. You gave too much blood. You need rest. I can repay you. Not just with gratitude. With truth and power. Elias raised an eyebrow, amused despite himself. Power? You offering me some kind of alien magic? No, she said softly. Something better. They traveled the next day to the coordinates Silari had memorized. Elias's ship was beyond repair, but she knew of an Ellerin outpost, a buried structure with dormant transport tech. As they crossed harsh ridges and dodged weather anomalies, Elias learned more about her species. They could manipulate bioenergy, shifting matter on a molecular level, communicate with sentient technology, and, most curious of all, form permanent bonds with those whose blood saved them. It is not just a biological link, she explained. It's spiritual. An eternal connection. The one who shares their blood becomes, one of us. Elias chuckled, only half serious. So, you're saying I'm part alien now? Silari turned to him, her expression unreadable. More than that. When the time comes, you will understand. They reached the tomb by twilight. Massive doors of obsidian and gold, etched with alien runes, stood sealed beneath a dune. Silari placed her hand on a panel, and it lit up with cascading symbols. But the moment the doors began to open, a barrage of laser fire lit up the air. Ambush. Mercenaries, 5 of them, heavily armored, and armed with weapons that crackled with anti-energy pulses. Elias dived behind a rock, dragging Silari with him. Guess they figured you'd be back. I will not survive another fight, she said. Not unless. Her gaze drifted to him. He groaned. You want more blood, don't you? She shook her head. Not just blood. Trust me. This is different. With no time to ask questions, Elias nodded. Do it. She reached forward and touched his chest. A sharp pain exploded in his sternum as her fingers sank slightly into his skin. His vision blurred, filled with colors and echoes he couldn't name. For a moment, he wasn't Elias Rourke. He was part of her, of something infinite, ancient, and beautiful. And then it was gone. He gasped. His body thrummed with energy, his senses sharpened. Silari rose from cover, glowing now, radiant like a goddess of war. Fight with me, she whispered. Together, they stormed the mercenaries. Elias moved faster than he thought possible, anticipating enemy strikes, dodging blasts by millimeters. Silari struck like a living storm, energy lashing from her fingers, bending metal and bone alike. The fight was over in minutes. Inside the tomb, the relic pulsed with soft blue light, a crystalline heart suspended in a field of gravity. Silari knelt before it, whispering words in a language older than memory. This, she said, turning to Elias, will bring my people back. You made this possible. He smiled, swaying slightly. Well, happy to help. She stepped toward him, placing her hands on either side of his face. I promised a reward beyond imagination, she said. And I always keep my promises. Energy surged around them. Elias felt his body lifted, broken apart and rebuilt, stronger, faster. Every wound healed. Every cell awakened. He saw the universe, not with his eyes, but with his soul. When he opened his eyes again, they glowed faintly silver, just like hers. They emerged from the tomb together, the stars above now unfamiliar and alive with meaning. You are Ellerin now, Silari said. Not just in blood, but in essence. You can walk among stars, bend matter, and speak to life itself. You are no longer bound by time as humans know it. Elias stared at his hands, then at her. So, I'm immortal. She smiled. Only if you wish to be. He laughed, a sound of pure awe. Guess crashing on this rock wasn't such a bad day after all.